Hello again and welcome back. This is Mayank Raj Singh bringing to you the sixth video of solution to CAT 2020 QS slot 1. This is the second video of algebra and sixth video overall. Hope you have learned and enjoyed the previous 5 videos, the whole of arithmetic and the first part of algebra. And now I'm bringing to you the second video of algebra questions that came in CAT 2020 slot 1 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So let us have a look at the questions. This is but a question which looks like it would take a lot of time, but let us see. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is that I am going to call this expression as A and the expression in power as B. So basically I want A to the power B is equal to 1. Now this can happen in 3 ways. 1, if A is 1 and B is anything. We don't care about B if A is 1. So B could be negative, positive, fraction, rational number, irrational number, doesn't matter. Case 2, when B is 0. Okay, if B is 0 and A is not 0, then we can claim that this is going to be definitely equal to 1. And the third case, if A is -1 and B must be even. It could be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 or -2, -4, -6. Everything will do, but it has to be even. So let us have a look at these 3 broad cases. Case 1, when we want A to be equal to 1, that is x square minus 7x plus 11 equal to 1. That's x square minus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. And we know the roots of this equation. It's very easy to figure out. X equal to 2 or 5. Okay, since we do not care about the value of B, we don't need to check by putting the values of x as 2 and 5 in the value in the expression of B. So I think these 2 values are going to work, and these are positive integer values as desired by the question. So they both suffice. Coming to case 2, we want B equal to 0. Let us put B equal to 0. We get a clear-cut solution to this. Clear-cut roots, x equal to 6 and 7, both positive integers again, but we also have to check that while putting B equal to 0, the values of x that are coming out, they should not make A 0. Okay, so A will be 0. I'm just going to put x equal to 6 or 7 in the value of A. At x equal to 6, A is equal to, just put x equal to 6 in the expression A. So you get 36 plus 11, that is 47. 47 minus, no, it is not going to make 47. So A is not 0. That is the only thing I care about. Next, if I put x equal to 7, so I get 49 plus 11, 60, and 7x is not going to make 60. So yes, so I am now relieved that when I put x equal to 6 or 7, B is going to be 0 and A is not going to be 0. So 2 values here in the first case, 2 values in the second case. Coming to the third case, I want A to be -1, and in that case necessarily B should be even. First, putting A equal to -1, that is x square minus 7x plus 11 to be equal to -1. That brings us to the situation that x square minus 7x plus 12 equal to 0. This also gets us x equal to 3 and 4, both positive integers, but we have to check by putting these values 3 and 4 at B. At x equal to 3, what is the value of B that we are getting? B is 12, that's even, so we approve of it. And at x equal to 4, we are going to get B equal to 6. So at x equal to 4, we are getting B equal to 6, again even, so we can approve of it. So again 2 values that are sufficing in the third case. I also want to tell you one small thing. Since we only needed to check that B should be even, if we look at the expression B, if we look at the expression of B, which is x square minus 13x plus 42. Now 42 is even anyway. X square minus 13x will always be even, don't you think so? If you put x equal to even, this will be even minus even, and if you put x equal to odd, that will be odd minus odd or odd plus odd. So I think this expression is always going to be even, that we are sure of, if we are putting x as an integer. So I think we didn't need to check so much, but still I did that to the satisfaction of everybody who is watching the video. So this I think we can conclude the question by saying that 2 values here, 2 values here, and 2 values here, overall 6 values of x satisfy. So the question was how many distinct positive integer value solutions. There are 6 values. I think we can declare this as our answer, 6 values. So this was the first question of second video. Moving on to the second question, area of the region satisfying these inequalities. I think in this question what we first need to do is to understand the graphs of these individual inequalities. So the first graph is y is greater than mod x minus 1. Second graph, y is greater than or equal to 0. And third graph is y is less than or equal to 1. Okay, so let us see what if y is greater than mod x minus 1. So what is the graph of mod x minus 1? The graph of mod x minus 1 is symmetric about y-axis, where this is origin and this is minus 1. Okay, so this is the graph of mod x minus 1. Now you want y to be greater than this. That means all the values above the line. Okay, so this entire region is what is wanted. Second is y greater than or equal to 0. Y equal to 0 is nothing but x-axis. So you want y to be greater than this. All the region above x-axis is what is desired by the question. And the third, y is less than or equal to 1. So y equal to 1 is a line parallel to x-axis at a height of 1 from the origin. And you want y less than that, all the region. We want an amalgamation of these three graphs. Let us try to make one. Okay, so I think this is the area that the question is interested to find. We are interested to find. If we remember, the slanted line is of y equal to mod x minus 1. When does it cross the x-axis? I think it's minus 1. The points are minus 1 and plus 1. Okay, and the line parallel to x-axis, this line is y is equal to 1. So if you put y equal to 1 in this graph of y equal to mod x minus 1, so you get the values as minus 2 and plus 2. And we very well know that the height of this is 1. So I think we can understand that this is a trapezium whose parallel lines are 4 and 2 units long, and the height and the distance between the parallel lines is 1. So the area of trapezium, so required area I'm going to write, is equal to half the sum of parallel sides, which is 2 plus 4. This is 2 and this is 4 into the distance between them. 3 units, 3 square units I'm going to write as the area, and this is going to be our answer for the question. So this is about the second question of this video, CAT 2020. Third question, logarithm. So I want to tell you that if one or two questions of logarithm, that in my opinion and according to my memory, they appear every year, one or two questions of logarithm, and they become very easy if you memorize the 3 or 4 very important properties of logarithm. You can see that log is there in the R, and we have not learned to deal with this, especially when the exponent is different and the number is different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take log at both the sides. So this will become log of is equal to log of 5 raised to the power log 3 to the base 2. Okay, so the property that I'm going to use in the first place is when you have log a to the power n, it becomes n log a. N comes in the multiplication, so this entire power comes as a multiplication, and so in the right hand side. Second property that I'm going to apply is log a to the base b can be written as log a upon log b. The basis of these logs is as per your desire. So I'm going to use that y square log 5 upon log 3 into log 2 equal to. So the people who find themselves poor at logarithms and maybe struggling at a phase, they might want to pause the video and see what has happened till now. Only when they are 100% confident, they should move ahead. So I can see that y square log 2 square equal to log 3 square. I can also write y square equal to log 3 upon log 2 whole square, or log 3 to the base 2 whole square. Why I did this is because I could see in the options there were all the logs with the base 2. Now it says that y is a negative number. So I know that since y square equal to this, now y could be plus or minus. So I'm going to take it minus log 3 to the base 2. Now I do not see any option which looks like this. So I'm going to take this minus 1 into the power of 3 and getting our answer as the second option. So I think this should satisfy. So two properties of logarithm I used, and one of them more than once. Moving on to the last question of this video. Again, a question of logarithm, and again I'm going to use the same two properties as I discussed in the previous video. So I'm directly going to apply that here. So I'm going to write log 5 upon log 4 equal to log y upon log 4 into log root 5 upon log 6. So I can clearly see that log 4 is gone. Log 5 can also be gone, but for that I need to write log root 5 as half of log 5. Okay, so I'm going to write directly in the next step as log y equal to 2 log 6. In the bracket, I'm going to do this for you. So after this step, what happened? Log 5 became equal to log y into half log 5 upon log 6. So this 2 log 6 came on the other side. Okay, so I think we can very well say that y is nothing but 36. That is going to be our answer to the question. Okay guys, these are the remaining 4 questions of algebra that I solved for you. Keep watching the space for the next set of questions, which will include the geometry questions. Hope you're enjoying and learning from the videos. Please write to us in the comment section. Any positive criticism is always welcome, and any suggestions to improve the quality of the videos. Right now, thank you so very much. This is Mayank Raj Singh signing off. See you again very soon in the next video.